Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fatebinder, A Tale of Tyranny. I hope that you are cuddled up, that you have some popcorn and you are ready, because right now we're starting off with a lot of talking. Every single one of our companions wishes to speak to us. I kind of understand Ebb wanting to speak to us, because she is our newest companion that we agreed to bring along to spare her life on the off chance that she would serve us and only us, until otherwise necessitated. And Verse, because she is, remember, a servant of the voices of Narat, who we're now at war with. Sounds like a great idea. So let's start off with the boring one. Mr. Lantry.
At least in theory, I'm supposed to be observing history and not getting myself wrapped into it. All the same, this is the thrill of a lifetime. Rarely does one stand so close to monumental moments in the making.
That's true, Lantry.
If given the choice between a multifaceted hive mind of treachery and a surly old soldier, General Grumps is the wiser choice. It's patently obvious which Archon is truly loyal to Kryos.
I'm completely in agreement. That's why we're here.
So, I must ask, are you planning on taking sides in the Civil War? Or do you have other plans?
I am a servant of the Archon of Justice. That much has not changed.
Dutifully spoken. It is Tunon's duty to arbitrate matters between the Archons, so this rift between Ash and Narat certainly falls under his jurisdiction. And here you are, thrust in the middle of the dispute. No doubt the mighty Adjudicator will be relying heavily on you to get to the truth of the matter. Whatever you do next, consider that many eyes will be upon you, for you have both delivered and taken away the Overlord's edicts, and few will know how to make sense of the latter. You are an exception the Archons cannot afford to ignore. They will likely aim to control or destroy you.
Thank you, Lantry. Now, Lantry was someone that we rescued. We pulled him from the Scarlet Chorus's grasp and put him under Tunon's jurisdiction, so he's probably a little bit grateful for that. But I do appreciate his sage advice. Now, I don't want to talk too much because this is the starting of the episode, and that's where people are supposed to get hooked and stick around to watch the episode. And a lot of talking doesn't do that, spoiler alert. But I do want to see if he has ever heard of edicts being broken before.
Most of Kryos' edicts were either worded to end in a manner of the Overlord's choosing, or the edicts have simply continued in perpetuity. That's not to say there haven't been stories of broken edicts. They're just uncommon.
Makes sense.
The oldest is, I think, Golbraith and the Edict of Sorrows, and that tale dates back to around the year 110. Aside from you, the most recent was the Edict of Twisting Grasses, back in 380.
I'm afraid I don't know what date it is.
In all these stories, Kryos' edict very clearly gives its victim a single way to escape, and someone manages it. What's never happened is the pure abatement of an edict, like using a spell of warding or cancellation.
Oh, so this is a first for you guys, too. Noted. Now let's get going. Thank you, Lantry. On to Verse. Now, I'm curious how this conversation is going to go because I want her to stay with me. I actually like her character a lot. So, yeah.
So, the Scarlet Chorus and Disfavored are at each other's throats. Can't say I didn't see that coming, but the Archons might have waited until one war was over before they started another.
Their war doesn't interest me.
Funny sentiment, considering you're in the center of it. Not that I'm judging.
Thanks.
I'll say this much. Our time together is anything but dull. My blades are yours for as long as you'll have me.
Noted. This is good. I'm glad that she's staying loyal to us, and I think that's because she's at like loyalty rank 3 or 4. We have appeased her quite a bit. So, noted. I have some questions for you.
What do you need?
Is this anything... Do I want to talk about Barrett? Meh. Kind of wanted to ask about her feathers again, but we'll talk again later. Alright, that was a little less dramatic, but I am glad to have my fears abated that she's with us for now. I mean, she could also be lying. She is a servant of the Archon of Secrets, after all, but I doubt it.
Salutations, Fatebinder. Or should I now call you Lady of Vendrian's Well? The Spire Queen? Princess of the suggestive vertical slab?
I already like Ebb. Fatebinder is fine. No need for other titles.
That is how I met you, so that's how it's gonna stick in my mind. So if I might ask, what is your plan now? The Edict no longer looms overhead, and Kryos' conquest of the Tiers seems to be slipping. What with the armies and civil war.
Now, I do want to gain her loyalty. We are going to try and learn the unique magic that she knows. It's actually amazing. So, I kind of plan on destroying the Scarlet Crusade. If I'm being perfectly honest. I already told Verse that I'm not interested in their war, and I'm not. But the Scarlet Chorus owe me a thing or two, and I'm going to collect. The plan is to destroy the Scarlet Chorus.
Then you have my full support. The Scarlet Chorus has grown in the years of conquest. Among the Horde are Tiersmen fighting because they felt there was no choice, as well as Tiersmen fighting to watch their homeland burn. It pains me we will have to slay some of the former.
The first order of business, however, my dear Ebb, is to speak with Tunon.
I would counsel you to do just that. I'm sure the events of Vendrian's Well are best explained from your mouth to Tunon's ears. Furthermore, I'd guess the Archon of Justice would want to know your take on the Archons and their divide.
That's all I have for now.
Well, short of Tunon giving you orders on pain of death, you have the luxury of acting on your own volition. Though the Scarlet Chorus are likely to come for you.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping they do. Thrustmourne hunger.
Whatever you decide, I'm at your disposal.
Your assistance is most helpful. Thank you.
And I am thankful to not be a bloody pile of offal in Vendrian's Well. Life under your banner will, I'm sure, prove most interesting.
Oh, you are not wrong there, Ebb. But anyway, do you have a moment? Let us speak further.
What is it you need?
I have some questions for
Ask
you.
away.
Let's speak of magic.
You know, I normally charge for this, but for you...
Ebb smiles, awaiting your query. What can you tell me about your magical tradition?
Now, you know that's a very personal question. The knowledge I have is a centuries-old gift from the Archon of Tides. I would sooner discard my life than the sanctity of that gift. I will speak in generalities only.
For now. Ask. Worst I can do is not tell you. This is a good question. Tell me about how you influenced Terratus Grave. Trade secrets? Not one I'm going to talk about. The School of Tides dies with me, and so too will this. And don't bother changing my mind on this matter. It'll just get ugly quick. Tell me how you influence ice, mist, and other forms of water. With years of training. Now look, most of those secrets have already been stolen ages ago by the sages. Doesn't mean I'm going to tell you just because the secret's already out. But it means you can go ask someone else if you really feel so entitled to know. And before you ask, I've learned plenty from knowledge stolen by the sages, but no, I don't know how to do what Ebb does. Magically or otherwise. Can you at least teach me what you know? I suppose I am capable of it, but no. The secrets of the Archon of Tides dies with me. I imagine we have to get a lot friendlier with her first. Fine. We can discuss other arcane matters.
You know, I normally charge for this, but for you...
What can you tell me about the subject of Bane? What I know is largely taken from Master Camberyl's work and some near-fatal experience venturing close to the old walls. As best I understand it, the Banes are bits of magical will that have an extended life to their own. I'm on the belief that they nest or reproduce in the old walls, the only place you regularly find them. Our magic attracts the Bane. That much I know to be true firsthand. Again, this is a personal theory, but I'm guessing they eat or drink magic, so our spells are invitations to dine. She does have a passive that increases her damage against Bane, so I'm assuming these will be enemies we soon encounter. Let's change the
Ask away.
subject. Well, let us return to our travels. It does look like there's an option to speak of our adventures, meaning they might give you their opinion on how you're faring. Why is this orange? I don't know. But anyways, you can see this is our group composition. It's where we left things off. Satu, the Fatebinder, Verse, Lantry, and Ebb. This is what one would consider a greedy group composition. But I love greed. I love greed so much. How do I... I don't remember. Ah, there it is. Right click. We definitely want Ebb up front. Lantry in the middle, and there we go. Ebb is pretty tanky from what I saw. Here she is. Oh, that's me. Haha. Here's Ebb. I put some points in... I think I put all of her points in wits, because she is a spellcaster. But she has more health than everyone else on the team, including Satu. She has some points in might already, which suggests melee-ish attack. And she has the default 10 here in vitality instead of, a reduction to vitality like these two. So we'll see how this fares. I did give her a dagger and shield to swap off to if we're in trouble, but I like her stick. It's a cool looking stick. As for her spells, I committed entirely to the Gravelight tree. I don't know much about it, but I only remember reading that Gravelight was really good, and that's it. But she also gets some very cool passives here. Like, for example, grants bonus armor while Ebb is wearing light armor in combat. This means basically everyone on our team wants to wear light armor. I suppose Lantry could put on heavy armor if he really feels like it. And Runic Barrier, which he picked up, which grants a moderate bonus armor. But this is the one I really liked, Runic Teaching. While in the party, Ebb and her allies gain more skill experience with lore, spells, and magic staves. That sounded juicy. And she has Grave Strike, which causes each enemy in a cone to trigger an explosion of Gravelight energy. Foes take arcane damage and a portion of their lost health is drained back to Ebb, which I'm assuming is where her tankiness comes from. If at all. I did change one of Satu's spells. Her Restoring Touch has both increased range and increased potency because our lore is pretty high now. Could probably change this. What are we looking at here? I want Frostfire. I already have Frostfire. Can't do anything else, can I? No. Alright, well, we have the Frostfire AoE on... Oh yeah, I just put this here. Duh, because we had Fulmination here. Now we have the Frostfire Frost AoE, Cone AoE. Very nice. We still have the Stone Spike, which I might be able to increase further. Could put an AoE on it. I wonder how high its range is with that. No AoE. AoE does cost a lot of lore, so we'll put that in and update it. And we still have Unravel Minds. Ooh. So we have Channeled Strength. Increase Intensity. Yes. And Duration. Perfect. This is our illusion crowd control, so the longer they're crowd controlled, the more powerful the crowd control. Mwah. Beautiful. We haven't changed anything with Verse because her lore is abysmal. With Lantry, did we change anything? I don't think so. He has the Frostfire Frozen Grasp, which I might have changed. And I think I updated Surge of Glory. For Ebb, she began with Electric Jolts, which I guess I'm just keeping because why not? I'll make it an AoE though. Accent that increases the area of the spell's effects. So... Radius 2 meters. Yeah, this is fine. And then she has Phantom Bolt, which we can't modify. But this is a single target... No, a foe AoE that restores health. The Gravelight thing, I think. We have Restoring Touch. It has increased potency. We have a Rhyme Spike, which is a bonkers AoE with the Frostfire addition. And then I gave her Surge of Glory with increased duration instead of increased potency. That is everything. We're going to be popping buffs like crazy to make this greedy as Ball's group work together. But let's move on with the story, shall we? We're already 15 minutes in and all I've done is talk to people. On closer inspection, a series of symbols carved around the base of the structure come into view. One symbol pulses with a blue-white glow. The pattern resembles the glowing lines of light seen on the floor of Ascension Hall moments before you found yourself transported above the clouds. As you stare at the symbol, the chill of the wind abates and your chest swells with warmth. The air finally feels welcoming, your lungs sated at last. I'd be careful going any closer. This whole tower is humming with energies that we don't understand. Lantry holds his quill poised above a sheet of parchment with anticipation. No, didn't say back away. Let's find out what it does. Just be cautious. You state your claim on the tower and everything in it. Whatever that sculpture is, it belongs to you. I can feel power running through this place. Ebb surveys the surroundings, her gaze sweeping to the object at the center. You can sense the magic of the spire even from down below, but up here, this close to the axis of the spire, the deluge of energy is numbing. Touch it. The stone is smooth and cool to the touch. Marbling patterns move with the curves of the sculpture, looking more akin to veins than imperfections of rock. You cannot find a single marking to suggest an artisan's tool. As you're about to draw your finger away, you suddenly feel a return pressure on your fingertip as the sculpture touches you back. Creepy. The sculpture is once again still. There is a rush warmth through your body, a jolt of enervation that steadies your balance. A barrage of tactile sensations floods your mind as you feel footsteps and wind, but not on your face or limbs. A moment later, the flood of information begins to make sense. You are feeling the wind against the spire, and even the weight of your own feet, as if the spire were a second spine. My spine's terrible enough, okay? I don't need a second one. With this connection made, you feel your awareness pull from this place, not as a traveler, but as one glimpsing the world from impossibly far away. In this moment, there is nothing you cannot see, though you see it nearly all at once in a flood of sensation that is difficult to parse. It's a teleportation device and an Oculus? Bro, this thing's awesome. You see a spire at the crossing of an ancient stone structure, two walls extending off into the distance. At the base of this eternal spire, settlers and merchants act in every way unconcerned, toiling under the observations of unforgiving taskmasters. As the shadow of the spire falls over them, the mood changes. The settlers pause in shared unease and look up at the sky, toward you. Some of the faces looking at you are familiar, as you recognize this place as Lethian's Crossing, where you served during the war. Near the settlement built at the joining of the ancient walls, you see a breach in the massive masonry, a cleft into the forbidden, hidden realm within the old walls. Okay, I feel like I should go to the spire. Which means my gamer instinct is telling me to go to the old walls entrance. Shadows envelop you, muting all sound and vision with slight delay. There is a feeling of perversion, of wrongness. Whatever arcane magic is allowing your senses to drift free of your body seems to falter in this place. Figures haunt the stone walls, drifting emanations of cloud, claw, and fang. They pay you no heed, but you fear them all the same. In the depths of this forbidden place, the deepest chamber is bathed in light. An arcane symbol illuminates the floor, but the details hurt your eyes when you focus. With a gentle tug, your focus pulls back to a new horizon, though it takes you a moment to recognize it as Vendrian's well. You've returned to the awareness of your immediate surroundings. The effect leaves you unsteady on your feet. So a little bit of foreshadowing there, not something we can really interact with. So let us drift closer to the spire. The spire feels similar to the one you now occupy, though instead of radiating arcane life, it reeks of dust and crumbling stone. A branch withering once pulled from its tree, it reaches for you with a barely perceptible tug. The link between you and the spire recedes. The arcane bond is still present, but the mystical energies, for the moment, are quiet. Your body flooded with excitement and fatigue, it's unclear whether the mystic connection is strengthening you or siphoning you. The tower offers nothing by way of answer, and you know that asking would only yield more silence and mystery. The deluge of sensation is over, but the positions of the other spires still linger in your mind. From your vantage point atop the mountain spire, you can easily spot the mysterious structures, each of them rising high from their distant surroundings. Fast travel? Did you sense that? Landry signs a long sigil in the air, squinting at you as he works his cantrip. The ripples are everywhere. When you move, the magic of this place stirs and churns. That portal over there, those burning braziers, they all grow more intense as you approach. I think it's responding to your presence. Before we get ahead of ourselves, it's worth remembering that you ended Kryos' edict. That's no small feat. Maybe your connection to this place is related. Either way, sounds like something for the arcane-minded to investigate. Be sure to see me after your audience with Tunon. We cannot let the Scarlet Chorus gain hold in the tiers. Together, we will wipe them from the land. Come to me as soon as you can, Fatebinder. We have a lot of work to do. So we are going to war with the Scarlet Chorus. I mean, I did kind of say that I would. The sculpture doesn't respond to your touch. Oh, investigate the spires, meaning go find them in the world. Got it. Well, I want to go to the Bastard City. So let's go. Maybe I should go check out the other... The completionist is in me. Are you sure you want to be instantly teleported? Yes. Yes, I do. We can't teleport to the Bastard City, so we're going to have to walk from no matter where we are. I might as well take a peek. And it's empty. Of course it is. I don't know why I'm surprised. But, you know, I was thinking maybe... Is this that campfire that I didn't take? Is everything the same? After I went through so much effort. Oh. Plans. Locked Iron Gauntlet. There are legible plans in it for the Locked Iron Gauntlets. This item can be created with access to a Spire Forge upgrade and proper materials. What? I don't know what that is. On the bright side, though, that means it was worth it to come down here? Oh, and this area was blocked off. So I guess it was worth it. Haha! Subterfuge, subterfuge. Another book. Research. Dagger plans. This research can be made with the Spire Library upgrade and the proper materials.
Faster, stronger.
What up, verse? What up, finesse? Wait, does finesse... Where's bows? Yeah, okay. It does affect bows. I'm kind of enjoying her in the bow position. You know? When superior to parry, use dodge skill to avoid incoming melee attacks. Also gain a bonus to defense against engagement attacks. Gain immunity to the burning and bleeding affliction. That seems good. When Verse is in the party, all members gain bonus experience for dual-wield bows and athletic experience. Guess what, Verse? You just earned your freaking spot.
Right.
Because remember, Satu is a war mage. She is a dual-wieldist just as much as she is a spellcaster. Well, close to just as much. We're trying to level them both side to side, because the ability to punch things really hard is enjoyable. There's a campfire. We do have a Spire Rest bonus, +5 all skills until next rest, so let's not rest. This is an increase... Oh. So this has more DPS. Wait, why? Oh, it's comparing it to the bronze dagger. It's the same as our main hand. Obviously, it has more damage than the bronze dagger, but its accuracy is significantly less, and I don't like missing. I do not appreciate that. Heavy? Ah, heavy. I was kind of hoping it would be light. Hello. It's pretty close to my current weapon. I mean, I could give that to you, I guess, instead of a dagger. I mean, it kind of makes more sense that way, right? I only want to use that when we're really tanking with her, though. I don't want to just, have her with that all the time. Because I want to see what her stick does. We're probably not going to find out this episode, so if you were hoping for some combat, I have some bad news for you. Because we're about to go speak with Tunon. I imagine, because that's introducing the Archon for the first time, that will be quite the discussion for us. I mean, that or he could just dismiss us. An option. My plan is to tell Tunon that I attempted to complete our original goal of getting them to work together. I knew there was a secret back here. But it failed, and so I have selected the disfavored to carry out Kryos' will. And the plan will adapt from there. So, I feel pretty good about it. Okay, world. The Bastard City. 1 day, 17 hours, and 45 minutes. We're probably going to get caught by some... Yeah. Marching your way along a backcountry road, you spot a small flock of rotund, leatherless beasts. I almost said birds. Waddling around through the grass down the hill. You recognize them as flightless, irritable birds whose tough flesh seems a staple of life for many coloners in the tiers. You could almost certainly pick one of the creatures off for your dinner. Do you think Verse would appreciate hunting it? We'll hunt it. The foul-tempered bird seems largely unaware of you, for the moment. Athletics, I think that's our highest. With little hesitation, you pounce among the dun-feathered birds like a predator, sending them scrambling. Your limbs lashing out like lightning, you manage to wrap your arms around one of the flightless, tackling it to the ground. For a moment, it seems naught but a beak and claws, all digging at your skin, trying to fight its way free, but your fingers clasp around the bird's neck. With a resounding snap, you end its struggle. You stand and brush yourself off, sure that your catch will provide a meal or two. Your heart thuds rapidly beneath your sternum, and you set yourself to the task of cleaning your prey. Ooh, nice. It's probably worth leveling athletics when I can, because I can always level force and frost control whenever I feel like it. Alright, we're in the court. What's up, my dudes? Are you getting mad at me because I'm bringing Ebb here? No. Where's Tunon? Oh, okay, well. There's Tunon. You're floating. Admittedly, not what I expected. Hello, Tunon.
You call yourselves officers of Kryos' army, but your conduct falls short of my expectations. The court finds your accounts of Vendrian's well lacking, rife with misdirection and fallacy, fouled with baseless accusation.
The shadows beneath Tunon's cloak darken and flare around him. Murmurs of unease erupt in the court. I like his voice. You did a great job, Paradox. Let's listen. Your Honor, I have relayed the events as I experienced them. You can well imagine why my version conflicts with his. She makes a dismissive gesture to the Scarlet Chorus representative. On my honor, and on that of the great general, I would sooner snap my sword than perjure myself before you, Archon. Ah, so you imply that falsehood comes easier to my lips than yours? Honestly, I'd believe that. You're a fool if you believe the Archon of Justice won't see through your lies because the disfavored think themselves better than an honest gang.
Silence. The contradictions in your statements will be examined, and falsities threshed from truths. If we find you have perjured yourselves, Bled Mark will see to your fate.
The Archon turns, and you feel his gaze upon you.
Fatebinder, we will start with the matter of the Archons. Graven Ash and the Voices of Nerat have declared war upon each other. In addition to violating Kryos' peace, they have thrown the conquest of the Tears into disarray. By all accounts, these hostilities began shortly after your arrival. Tell us what transpired.
I mean, both of 1 and 2 are accurate. The Archons have been of different minds since the start of this war.
Your perspective is appreciated, but the dispositions of the 2 Archons are already a matter of record. Loyal subjects of Kryos have drawn blood from each other, a cardinal crime. Something happened at Vendrian's Well to trigger this feud.
The Archons could not agree on who should lead the siege and descended into accusations of treachery. It seemed a mutual spat. Remember, before the disfavored, we are Tunon's chosen. That's the one thing Satu is going to stick to. I mean, ideally. The disfavored were deserving What? The disfavored were more deserving of the honor. Our tactics and training outmatched the Vendrian Guard at every turn. What balderdash! The disfavored couldn't tip over a straw hut if they had a week to strategize. Our howling mob was better equipped to overwhelm the Vendrian Guard. Our recruits were ready to throw themselves at the enemy, if only Ash and his legion would agree to our plan.
The Fatebinder presents testimony. I warned you both against speaking out of turn. Something more than a mere disagreement unraveled this campaign. But I will return to that in time.
Something I just remembered. When we asked the person who we threw off our spire, which was still my favorite moments in this entire game, when we asked her if she had any final words, her final words were to thank the Voices of Nerat for his assistance. Keep that in the back of your mind.
Let us speak of Ascension Hall. The disfavored sing your praises across the realm, though the Scarlet Chorus appeal for charges of treason. Perhaps you can offer a more enlightened account.
I claim the Citadel with a small unit of disfavored.
An efficient solution, the type I would expect from a capable agent. Tell me though, with the Edict looming overhead and death the price of failure, why not employ the numerical advantage of the Scarlet Chorus?
We could single out the Voices of Nerat, which, if we're going to try and go with our plan, I don't even know if we can mention what happened to Vendry as well, but if we can, this is the way to do it. The Voices of Nerat provoked Ash at every turn. I suspected treachery. For a long while, the Adjudicator hovers in silence, shadows trailing from beneath his robes.
I will consider this testimony at length. The court thanks
Really?
you for it. Is there anything you wish to add at this time?
I have told you all that I know, Archon.
Your testimony is accepted by the court. The statements of our guests raise questions in my mind. There is much about this campaign that has caused me to wonder.
Me too.
A shipment of iron weapons was short on arrival. Where coveted iron is concerned, I don't believe it to be a clerical error. One of my agents recovered this seal in Echo Call. It belongs to a merchant collective. Lethian's Crossing is teeming with their kind. If you would root out treachery, I would advise starting there.
My pleasure.
Petitioners, leave us. I would have a private audience with the Fatebinder. Ascend and join me. You will find the way opened.
Can we talk to these guys? Oh, more Fatebinders. What do you guys have to say? Satu, I see you've returned to the fort. Your exploits in Vendrian's Well are a matter of some discussion. The Fatebinder of Balance regards you with a discerning eye, and for a moment you feel as if she is trying to peer into the very depths of your mind. What can I do for you? Nah. We're good.
I got it.
I would love to train some skills, but I don't think I'm going to until... Or going to be able to until we get to Lethian's Crossing. Which we were the governor of, remember? So that could be, fun. Alright, tune on. I imagine this is where the real discussion's gonna kick in.
This civil war, this feud, is an insult to Kryos' peace. It should not have taken the better part of a year to silence the last vestiges of the Oathbreakers.
Tunon regards you in thoughtful silence. I agree, Your Honor.
Our allies squabble while our enemies regroup. It falls upon the court to measure the extent of the damage, and to execute the agents of disorder. I suspect that treachery, negligence, disunity, and greed have infected one or both of our esteemed allies. Until you are instructed otherwise, this matter is the court's primary focus.
Seems fair to me.
Graven Ash and the voices of Nerat must be examined in close detail. You are charged with observing the Archons and presenting your case that one of them has wrought chaos and disorder upon the Tiers.
Could they both be guilty?
It's possible, but the momentum of the conquest up to this point suggests otherwise. The failure at Vendrian's Well implies a coordinated will behind the chaos.
That we already found out about.
As always, you will be held accountable for what you do in the court's name. But you are free to conduct your investigation in the manner of your choosing. You must expect lies, misdirection, and manipulation. Suffer not such obstructions of justice.
I shall not.
The disfavored seem the logical first step in your inquiry. The Legion holds you in some esteem, and Graven Ash has shown deference to the court in times past.
Okay.
No doubt the disfavored will be rife with accusations and evidence against the voices of Nerat. Graven Ash is a noble man, but never underestimate his capacity for deception. A wise general succeeds by knowing when to be unreadable to the enemy.
Now, I do want to give Graven Ash a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. I liked him the most, but that usually means that there's something up with the character. He's hiding something, and we don't know what it is yet.
You should, of course, speak with the Scarlet Chorus and gather their testimony, but it stands to reason that most in the chorus would sooner brag about a pauldron fashioned from your skull than entertain your questions. Do not regret killing the rabble that impede your investigation.
Thanks for the permission.
Easily replaced.
If Graven Ash were guilty, I'd imagine all his soldiers would lie for him.
I concur. Graven Ash has a reputation for honor and nobility, but nobody is above reproach. If he is guilty of treachery in some fashion, his loyal soldiers will not be the ones to betray him. But if anyone is conducting a symphony of lies, common sense would point to the voices of Nerat.
Yep.
Your fellow Fatebinders have been busy acting as my eyes and ears. I have a few leads for you to follow. You should, of course, speak with your brothers and sisters of the court if you need further counsel.
Okay, we could do that, or we could not.
Though the disfavored were triumphant in the Blade Grave, I understand that their troubles within the region are unfinished. Talk to the disfavored commanders serving in the Blade Grave. Perhaps they can shine some light on the origins of this feud.
Okay, speak to the
The
disfavored.
Oathbreakers were reported to be using iron armaments, more than they might acquire from looting what few disfavored they killed. Any iron in the tiers not rusted through was made by forge-bound hands in Lethian's Crossing. Between craftsman and quartermaster, someone let iron fall into enemy hands. Investigate this matter and bring the thieves to justice.
Will do.
There is a final matter to discuss. A sensitive topic.
Though it's impossible to gauge from his expression, Tunon seems more wary than usual. What concerns the court, Your Honor?
In spite of the many shortcomings at Vendrian's Well, you managed to make a name for yourself. You proclaimed an Edict of Kryos, resolved its demanding conditions, and ascended the mountain spire.
Aw, you're making me blush.
Any one of these feats would be worthy of recognition by the highest authority. You managed to accomplish 3.
Tunon hovers in observance, awaiting a response. I mean, once you start brown-nosing, you don't stop. I am in a privileged position to accomplish incredible deeds.
It pleases me that you grasp your role, as long as you temper it with a sense of duty.
I'll try.
Whether by design or by accident, you have captured the attention of Kryos' army and the local tiersmen alike. This is no small opportunity, and the court charges you with exploiting your new standing to its fullest potential.
Oh, you have no idea how happy it makes me to hear you say that.
You have a title in our hierarchy. However, it's a little-known secret that one's standing in the world is determined by their infamy, their deeds, and how they come to be known. Mind this notion as you bring justice to this lawless frontier. There may come a time when your deeds speak for you louder than any title.
Foreshadow!
Whatever you did to capture the attention of the masses at Vendrian's Well, I would encourage you to do so again.
Understood. I will be known as a champion of justice.
Good. It falls to us to set a new standard for these southern barbarians.
Take no offense, Eb.
You are dismissed.
Ugh.
Should the court have need of your presence, you will receive word. Go forth and do my bidding, and bring glory and honor to the tiers in Kryos' name.
Tunon raps his gavel against the floor, the singular note resounding throughout the hall.
On it.
Well, so we can speak with these guys, our fellow Fatebinders, but I think I'm going to do that before the beginning of the next episode. I will be recording it just in case there's something mind-shattering and, explosive that could break our case wide open. Otherwise, next episode, we're going to go straight to dealing with Ironhearth, Bladegrave, and ensuring that none of the people in Lethian's Crossing are filthy, craven traitors. That'll be next time. So thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Sorry about all the talking, but talking is just as important in a cRPG as combat. Arguably, even more so. Hopefully we get to see a little bit of action next time, though. So I'll see you then. Bye-bye.